What do Muslims here in Minnesota think about Ilhan Omar?
Okay, so you got to understand, this is somebody that uses Islam for a sort of political gain, you know? She advertises as a Muslim, you know, as a Muslim person that's helping the Muslim people in the community that she's representing. But we also see her upholding different views that are in conflict with core Islamic beliefs. Personally, and much of the community here would have that same agreement here.
What is she saying that you guys don't agree with?
Okay, first of all, when it comes to like LGBTQ people, we as Muslims don't believe any other person that's not any other person, no matter what they practice, should be held to a lower standard, should be given less respect. But in Islam, there's permissibility and there's not. We got to keep in mind, you are not allowed to do certain acts, such as same-sex marriage, which she's in support for. You know, you got to understand, same-sex marriage is incompatible with Islam, no matter how much you twist it, no matter how much you can beautify it. In every way, the final word was sent from God, and that outweighs whatever political opinion that you may have, whatever bias that you may have.
And she justifies same-sex marriage.
That's a big sense of disagreement that we have.
So there is this clip over here where we have this Muslim Somali man being interviewed by what it looks like a right-wing conservative woman. And he's talking about how Ilhan Omar's views aren't aligning with Islam. And basically he's not her biggest fan, right? That's his take. So some people are clapping for him, talking about, oh, he's speaking the truth. And then we have the other side talking about, oh, why is he dragging a Somali woman on a right-wing conservative person's platform? Me personally, I see where both sides are coming from. Okay, so here is the reality and the part that actually feels a bit off. I mean, this is not a Somali Muslim platform. No, we're talking about a public political platform with a agenda, right? Now, these people, I mean, they actually love this stuff. They actively seek out people from marginalized communities who are willing to, critique their own, not because they want to, fix our issues or fix our problems. No, it's all about strengthening their own narratives. So the question here becomes, what are you gaining as a Somali brother by doing this on their own terms? Are you gaining a few likes, a bag? Meanwhile, what are they gaining? I mean, they're gaining the content. They can now go back to their audience and say, oh, Firi, look, these Somalis, they don't even like their own. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not blindly defending Ilhan Omar because I actually don't agree with everything she says either. But there is a difference between having a internal dialogue, internal Somali community critique compared to, performing for ajanibs and giving them the content and fitting their narratives. I'm not going to allow myself to be used as a pawn in a game that ultimately benefits these Adans. I hope you get my point.
Happened to Ilhan Omar in Minnesota. That was in the comments a lot when we talk about her winery. Went from 15,000 to 5 million with no website, no phone number, no address, no wine. She's now paying to have it removed off the internet. Paying as much to have it removed off the Wayback Machine. And now today, for those of you who thought they were never going to be investigated, her husband's investment firm that supposedly helps people in 80 different countries, this is what they have said, not what I'm saying, has not one client, has not one investment that has ever been made to it. I'm telling you, it's hard to keep saying that there's a low IQ syndrome there because they were smart enough to do the fraud, do it for years, and really get a lot of money back.
Why are some voices within the Somali communities are not speaking against Ilhan Omar? And what's really behind the tension? At the center of it is Ilhan Omar, as critics and debates continue to grow, including the voices within the Somali community itself. Some are raising concerns, others are pushing back, and many are asking the same question. What's really going on here? Why are the tension rising? And what's driving this strong reaction? In this video, we break down the controversy, the different perspective, and what this moment could mean moving forward. Credit to all creators whose clips are used in this episode. For disclaimers, this is for commentary and educational purpose. It is not meant to hate or discriminate against anyone. If this interests you, do well to like this video, subscribe and share. Stay with us because the full picture might surprise you.
Ilhan Omar, I'm sorry, but you know what? I think your time is up. They're coming for you. The Democrats have figured out they can't actually run you. Because you see, the people in the state of Minnesota are exploding with fury over all of that money that's like, poof, gone. The estimate now at $19 billion, and people don't forget stuff like that. Here now we have, look at this woman, Julie Lay. Doesn't matter. Let's go by Julie for today, okay? Because this woman's going to give her a run for her money. This is the woman that actually, remember, quit? She was working as a prosecutor there on behalf of the administration, and she was in Minnesota, and she couldn't handle the number of sort of migrants that she was having to, go up against. And she got so mad one day that she said to the judge, I have no resources. I haven't slept in how many days? And went on, and the judge was like, what's going on? And then the administration fired her. So now she's the one who's going up as a Democrat against Ilhan Omar. Well, think about it for just a second. Yeah, the Somali community, I get that they're powerful in Minneapolis, but they're not everything. There's plenty of other people there. And, maybe the whole district leans really, really left. Well, here's a woman who wants to stand up against ICE. And she also probably wants to stand up against fraud. And Ilhan, that's a really, really bad combo. Let's just say for you. Plus, she's smart. She's educated. She's a lawyer. So, she didn't go to the Leering Center for her education. So I do think that Ilhan Omar is going to have a bit of a problem. She made national headlines, they said, back in February 3rd, for her outburst before the U.S. District Judge Jerry Blackwell, who was demanding answers as to why the federal government missed deadlines to release 5 immigrants from custody. And Lay, who was working then at the U.S. Attorney's Office at the time, explained that she and her coworkers were dying, right? They have been working around the clock to address a wave of immigration cases in Minnesota since the start of Operation Metro Surge. And she said to the judge, what do you want me to do? The system sucks. This job sucks, according to the court transcript. And that's, of course, when she got...
Congresswoman, where do we stand on the investigation into Ilhan Omar? Obviously, there's some questions regarding her citizenship. She's been referred to the Ethics Committee. Can we trust the Ethics Committee to actually be ethical and do the right thing?
Let the process play out, right? That's what they always say.
Guys, isn't it about time that Ilhan Omar's investigated? And Congress isn't doing the job. I mean, look at these allegations and these accusations. There's apparently a lot of evidence building up to show that she allegedly might have committed some fraud, something illegal with migration, a possible fraudulent healthcare center, some sort of ties to her sister is endless at this point. Congress is protecting their own. You know how that goes. We got to force their hand.
This is about consistency. Don't tell me that this is about a condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers. This is about targeting women of color.
Come to Congress to be silent. I came to Congress to be their voice. And my leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been. So take your votes or not. I am here to stay, and I am here to be a voice against harms around the world and advocate for a better world. I yield back.
Of removal in the foreseeable future, lack of detention availability, which is something this president in this administration has been incredibly vocal about. We are doing everything we can to deport and detain illegal immigrants, but we need Congress's help to increase funding for Border Patrol and for ICE to increase detention capability in our facilities. And then other serious medical conditions have also been the reasons for some of the release of these individuals. But none of them have final deportation orders. Many of them are probably contesting their immigration status. I'd refer you to DHS for more details, but I did get that information because I knew it'd be a question. So thank you. Sure. Yes.
The president and you here again today have made clear, given the devastation, you think Palestinians have no choice but to leave Gaza and go elsewhere. But Palestinians say this is their home. They don't want to go. The president last night said he's willing to use the military if necessary. Is the U.S. prepared to remove Palestinians from Gaza by force?
The president is prepared to rebuild Gaza for Palestinians and all people in the region, peace-loving people who want real economic development and opportunity in the region. This is a region that has been controlled by Iranian-backed terrorists, Hamas, who have brutalized not just Israelis but Palestinians too. It is because of Hamas that you see those images on that screen, that Gaza has become a demolition site because Hamas launched that brutal attack on Israel on October the 7th. And so again, I would stress, President Trump wants to ensure that this can be a place where all people can live in peace. He is a peacemaker in chief. He made that very clear in his first term.
As we come to the end of this discussion, one thing is clear. This situation reflects more than just one person or one moment. It highlights deeper conversation about representation, expectation, and how communities respond when disagreements become public. For some, this is about accountability and feeling heard. For others, it's about context, fairness, and understanding the bigger picture. And that's why emotions are running high. Because when conversations like this happen, especially in the public eye, they often bring out a wide range of perspective, some supportive, some critical, and many somehow in between. But it also shows how important dialogue is. Because without open discussion, it becomes harder to understand where people are coming from and why this reaction matters to them. At the same time, it's important to approach situations like this carefully, separating verified information from assumptions and taking time to understand the full context before forming conclusion. As the story continues to develop, perspective may evolve and new information could shape how people see it. So whether you agree, disagree, or are still forming your opinion, your perspective is part of a larger conversation. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss the next conversation. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think is really driving this reaction? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation respectful and insightful. See you in my next episode.